in my condo, the average readings, I don't have Wi-Fi, I have hard lines to my router, no wireless devices, my cell phone service is disconnected. So the reading in my condo is 0.020, seems to be about the average reading, and it's in microwatts per centimeter square, and these are the readings on the paperwork. I'm going to add a link so you can download this chart and read over a lot of the problems and complications that are involved when living in these kind of environments. So I'm going to be doing the readings with the 10 Mars TM195 field strength meter and microwatts per centimeter square, and with an AM radio right here. So first things first, you can see the readings 0.0212630. Anyway, so when I turn on the Bluetooth, you're going to see what happens. So what's going to happen is it's going to spike up. It's searching for a signal. It's searching for a device to connect to. And when it doesn't find one, it slows right down and basically turns off. Then it sends out another pulse and searches again. Just going to go ahead and make the connection. Click connecting to Motorola H790. Connected. Okay. So now it's connected to my phone. So now there's a steady signal going from the Bluetooth to the phone. This gives you faster response. So when you touch a button on the Bluetooth, you can do voice dialing. You can tell the Bluetooth call so and so, and it'll go ahead and do that voice command. You can turn it off. You can turn the volume up and down. So anyways, it's always made that connection to a device now. So this is what the readings are, whether you're involved in a conversation or not. These are the readings. You can see how high they are. 9 microwatts per centimeter square, 8 microwatts, 7 microwatts, 4, 3, 1. I mean, it's clearly the danger starts here. My meter does not even read this low. The danger start was recorded in 2006, 0.00034. Well, my meter only reads as low, sorry about that, as low as 0.000. So that's a bit of a wake up right there. Anyways, so we're going to see what happens when I make a call. Obviously, I don't have service, but I can still call Kudo. So let's see. Outgoing call. There we go. That turns off automatically after a certain amount of time to save the batteries. It's in volts per meter. Put it on back to microwatts per centimeter square. So it's involved in a conversation now. I can hear it. So the strength should be a little bit stronger. It's going up to 10 microwatts per centimeter square, 11 microwatts per centimeter square. And again, the recorded dangers are starting as low as 0.00034. And this is 10, 11 microwatts per centimeter square before the decimals. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to turn my phone off. Phone's off. The connection's gone. The signal's fading, dying, and the signal's gone. So that's what it normally is in my condo reading right now. 0.020 is about the average. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the Bluetooth. Okay, for those of you too lazy to download and read through this, or too stressed out, whatever, I'm just going to read a few of the issues here that come up when we're exposed to these kind of environments. Again, this chart begins at a reading that is too low for my meter to even pick up. So it says here 0.00034 microwatts per centimeter square. Chronic exposure to mobile phone pulsed radio frequencies significantly reduced sperm count. That was in 2006. 0.0006 to 0.0128 microwatts per centimeter square. Fatigue, depressive tendency, sleeping disorder, concentration difficulties, cardiovascular problems reported with exposure. This is in the range where my meter does read 0.003 to 0.020 microwatts per centimeter square. In children and adolescents 8 to 17 years old, short-term exposure caused headache, irritation, concentration difficulties in school. That's 0.003 to 0.02 microwatts per centimeter square. My average reading is 0.020. So it's in this range. And this is my condo in a city center, and I don't have Wi-Fi, I don't have a cell phone in service, I have no wireless devices. 0.003 to 0.05 microwatts per centimeter square. In children and adolescents 8 to 17 years old, short-term exposure caused conduct problems in school. It causes behavioral problems. So it's not just the food and the psychiatric drugs. 0.005 microwatts per centimeter square. In adults 30 to 60 years old, chronic exposure caused sleep disturbances, but not significantly increased across the entire population. Well, I mean, how are you going to prove that? 0.005 to 0.04 microwatts per centimeter square. Adults exposed to short-term cell phone radiation reported headaches, concentration difficulties, differences not significant but elevated. 0.01 to 0.11 microwatts per centimeter square. Radio frequency radiation from cell towers caused fatigue, headaches, sleeping problems. 0.005 to 0.04 microwatts per centimeter square. Adults exposed to short-term cell phone radiation reported headaches, concentration difficulties. Differences not significant but elevated. 0.05 to 0.1 microwatts per centimeter square. Radio frequency radiation related to headache, concentration, and sleeping problems, fatigue. 0.38 microwatts per centimeter square. Radio frequency radiation affected calcium metabolism in heart cells. 0.8 to 10 microwatts per centimeter square. Now remember, the Bluetooth device was reading 10 microwatts per centimeter square when it was turned on and connected to a device. So anything below that also falls into the category. Radio frequency radiation caused emotional behavior changes, free radical damage by super weak. Sorry, no, I'm not sure what MWS is, but it clearly states that it caused emotional behavior changes. 0.13 microwatts per centimeter square. Radio frequency radiation from 3 gig cell towers decreased cognition, well-being. 0.16 microwatts per centimeter square. Motor function, memory, and attention of school children affected. 0.168 to 1.053. Irreversible infertility in mice after 5 generations of exposure to radiofrequency radiation. Irreversible infertility in mice after 5 generations of exposure. That says quite a bit. 0.2 to 8 microwatts per centimeter square. Radio frequency radiation caused a twofold increase in leukemia in children. 0.2 to 8 microwatts per centimeter square. Radio frequency radiation decreased survival in children with leukemia. (1.0 microwatts per centimeter square). Radio frequency radiation induced pathological leakage of the blood-brain barrier. Well, this is where the tumors are coming from when you're using your cell phone and your Bluetooth. When the blood-brain barrier is breached, this happens when the blood vessels in your head, they leak blood. When they leak blood, tumor forms. Well, a tumor is a natural reaction to basically hold the blood in place, so it creates a tumor. It's just nature. So there you go. I mean, you can do the research yourself on that. Radio frequency induced pathological leakage of the blood-brain barrier. 1.0 microwatts per centimeter square. Radio frequency, remember these are reading, the Bluetooth when it's connected to a device is reading 10 microwatts, 10 times this, 10 times. So 1 microwatt per centimeter square induces pathological leakage of the blood-brain barrier. 1 microwatt per centimeter square caused significant effect on immune function in mice. 1 microwatt per centimeter square, again, was noted, affected function of the immune system. 1.3 to 5.7 microwatts per centimeter square. Radio frequency radiation associated with a doubling of leukemia in adults. 1.5 microwatts per centimeter square. Reduced memory function in rats. 2.5 microwatts per centimeter square. Affected calcium concentrations in heart muscle cells. 2 to 4 microwatts per centimeter square. Altered cell membranes. The cell membrane is the protective skin around your cell, as you can see from the diagram in the background there. That's going to be the thumbnail for the video. You might be able to pause the video and have a look. It's really worth Googling and reading up a little bit about how the human cells work to get a better grasp on this stuff. Where was I? 4 microwatts per centimeter square caused changes in the hippocampus, brain memory, and learning. So it's 4 microwatts per centimeter square. When this is connected, the Bluetooth is connected to a device, it's reading 10. So anything below 10 is in that category. 4 to 15 microwatts per centimeter square. Between 4 and 15. From 4 to 15. Memory impairment, slowed motor skills, and retarded learning in children. 5 microwatts per centimeter square. Caused drop in, this is a white blood cell. So it caused a drop in the white blood cells. Its immune function decreased. So, sorry about that. So it's caused a drop in white blood cells. So obviously 5 microwatts per centimeter square is enough to wipe out your white blood cells. Or kill quite a few of them because your immune function is decreased. 5.25. It's 5.25 microwatts per centimeter square. 20 minutes of radio frequency radiation at cell tower frequencies induced cell stress response, stressing the cells. 5 to 10 microwatts per centimeter square caused impaired nervous system activity. 6 microwatts per centimeter square induced DNA damage in cells. It's affecting your DNA. You have it plugged into your head. This one's a doozy. 10 to 100 microwatts per centimeter square. Increased risk in radar operators of cancer. Very short-term latency period. I've also read online that I'm not sure if it was a Navy station or if it was near an airport, but they had just installed a new radar. So this radar device, when it was put in this neighborhood, I believe it was just a short term after when it was installed, the neighborhood started having a lot of sudden infant death syndrome. A lot of babies were dying. A lot of babies were dying, and the doctors didn't know why. The parents didn't know why, and a bunch of mothers had just, because they go to counseling and they talk about it, and in the neighborhood was actually, they found out that there was quite a few people in the neighborhood, in the general area, that had had sudden infant death syndromes. And it was found that this had happened just shortly after the radar was put in. What happened in that situation, the lawsuits or anything, I just remember reading that. You can, search, Google it yourself, airport, Navy radar stations, and sudden infant death syndrome. Do a Google search, check it out, and you'll see. This is not something that, I don't know how anybody can live with themselves after knowing the consequences of this and still going ahead and setting them up. And I'm just going to end it with that. Again, I'm putting a link in the details. Just go to the About tab, and in details, you might have to click to show more, but I'm definitely going to put a link so you can download this. It's a color chart. Under the About tab in details, you might have to click show more. But the link is to the bioinitiativereport.org. It will take you right to this document. You might have to go to the left and click another area to bring up this document. I can't remember, but it's definitely a site worth checking out. And that ends my little awareness video. I hope this was helpful to some people, and I hope you could become aware and get rid of your wireless devices. We really don't need these trinkets in our lives. They're causing a lot more harm than good. You're poisoning your babies, kids, your neighbors, your pets, yourself. I mean, it's a lot more than just you. The more these wireless devices go up, the more we're poisoning our food crops, our plants. Plants become deformed in these environments. You can check out other videos on that. Stephen McGee Books on YouTube. I'll put a link up for him too. You can check out his videos. He has a lot of videos about how the plants deform in these environments. And like I said, the bees, the birds, the bees, the animals in the ocean. It affects their migration. We have satellite dishes cover the entire planet. There's not an area on the planet that isn't covered by this AC field, this man-made electrical field. It completely covers the whole planet, and it is another reason for why we're losing crops, animals, insects. This is completely insane, and it's all about money. It's all about money. It's just about getting more money, and that's all. They don't want to see the outcome. They don't want to see the future. These people just want more money at any expense, and they will just dig deep holes and live under rocks for the rest of their existence if they can get away with it, and kill the entire planet. And they don't care. They just want more. So, anyways, there you have it. Awareness for you.